In the frozen ruins of Stalingrad, a single shot could change the course of a battle. In a city where every building was a fortress and every street corner a graveyard, one man reigned supreme, Vasily Zaitsev. Between September 1942 and January 1943, Zaitsev confirmed over 225 kills against German soldiers during the Battle of Stalingrad alone. His overall tally for World War II would soar beyond 400 confirmed kills, making him one of the deadliest snipers in history. But Zaitsev was more than just a marksman. He was a symbol of Soviet resilience, a ghost haunting the Germans at every turn. His story is not just one of cold statistics, it's the story of survival, strategy, and a hunter's relentless patience forged long before he ever set foot on a battlefield. Vasily Zaitsev was born in 1915 in the remote Siberian village of Yeleninskoye. Life there was harsh, unforgiving, and deeply connected to the land. From a young age, Vasily learned to hunt in the snowy forests, tracking deer and wolves with little more than instinct, patience, and a steady hand. His grandfather taught him to shoot with a standard-issue Mosin Nagant rifle at distances most soldiers would consider impossible. In Siberia, a missed shot meant a missed meal, or worse. It was there, in the endless white wilderness, that Vasily developed the skills that would later make him a legend. Years before he ever wore a uniform, Zaitsev had already learned the most important rule of sniping: never let your prey escape. When the German invasion reached the Volga River, Vasily Zaitsev volunteered for the front lines. He was sent to Stalingrad in September 1942, joining the 62nd Army, commanded by the brutal and relentless General Vasily Chuikov. What Vasily found there defied imagination: an endless expanse of shattered buildings, twisted steel, and frozen bodies. Stalingrad was no longer a city. It was a battlefield of rubble and ash. Initially serving as a simple infantryman, Zaitsev's natural sharpshooting skills quickly emerged. After taking out several German soldiers at long range using only an infantry rifle, his commanders realized they had something far more valuable on their hands. Vasily was soon reassigned as a sniper and given a scoped Mosin Nagant rifle, an old heavy weapon but deadly in the right hands. In the labyrinth of broken streets and hollowed-out factories, Zaitsev would become an invisible nightmare for the enemy. Zaitsev's reputation grew with every shot he fired. Unlike many snipers who picked off targets of opportunity, Vasily chose his victims carefully. Officers, machine gunners, communication specialists, men whose deaths would cause the greatest chaos among enemy ranks. As his kill count rose, he began training other snipers in a makeshift sniper school hidden within the ruins. Together, they formed a deadly web that paralyzed German movements and morale. Under his mentorship, the so-called sniper movement was born, an army within an army responsible for the deaths of thousands of Axis troops. To the Germans, moving in daylight became a deadly gamble. Vasily had turned Stalingrad into a hunter's paradise and a soldier's worst nightmare. During the Battle of Stalingrad alone, Vasily Zaitsev officially confirmed 225 kills. Every one of these kills was logged and verified under strict Soviet military standards. Beyond Stalingrad, his confirmed kills would surpass 400 over the course of the war. These were not random shots. Zaitsev specialized in high-value targets, commanders who controlled units, artillery crews setting up deadly positions, even snipers sent to kill him. His lethality wasn't just about body count, it was strategic. His kill-per-day average during the height of Stalingrad sometimes reached up to 6 soldiers a day, a staggering figure compared to the life expectancy of most snipers in such a brutal urban war zone. Among Zaitsev's many encounters, one story stands out above the rest: the legendary sniper duel. According to Soviet reports, the Germans, desperate to break the stranglehold Soviet snipers had placed on their forces, sent one of their best, a man known as Major Koenig, or sometimes referred to as Heinz Thorwald, an elite sniper trainer from the German army. For 3 tense days, Vasily and his opponent engaged in a deadly game of cat and mouse amid the rubble. Zaitsev spotted a suspicious sheet of metal positioned like a decoy, patiently waited for any sign of movement, and ultimately killed the German sniper with a single shot to the head. Though the exact details of the duel are debated by historians, it became immortalized in Soviet history and popular culture. further elevating Zaitsev's myth as the greatest sniper of Stalingrad. Zaitsev's deadly run almost came to a tragic end in January 1943, when a mortar explosion severely injured his eyes. Blinded and barely clinging to life, he was rushed away from the front lines. Soviet military doctors, determined to save the legend of Stalingrad, performed complex surgery and miraculously restored his vision. Many thought he would retire from the battlefield after his injuries, but Vasily defied expectations once again, returning to active duty later in the war. His survival and refusal to quit cemented his legend not just as a marksman, but as an indomitable spirit of the Red Army. For his actions, Vasily Zaitsev was awarded the title Hero of the Soviet Union, one of the nation's highest honors. After the war, he returned to a quieter life, working as the director of a textile factory in Kyiv. But he never forgot Stalingrad or the lessons of the hunter. In his later years, Zaitsev authored his memoir, Notes of a Sniper, offering a glimpse into the mind of a man who had seen the very worst of war and survived. His story was later dramatized in books and films, most notably in Enemy at the Gates, bringing his legend to audiences worldwide. Though some details, like the duel with Major Koenig, are debated as possible Soviet propaganda, there is no disputing Zaitsev's incredible impact on the outcome of Stalingrad and the morale of Soviet forces. In the end, the story of Vasily Zaitsev isn't just about kill counts or legendary duels. It's about the transformation of an ordinary hunter from Siberia into a symbol of Soviet defiance against overwhelming odds. In a battle that saw over 2 million casualties, Zaitsev's rifle spoke louder than 1,000 guns. His patience, precision, and ruthless efficiency turned the tides of battle, proving that even in the face of unimaginable destruction, one man with one rifle could still make a difference. Vasily Zaitsev, the deadliest ghost of Stalingrad, left behind a legacy carved into history, one bullet at a time. After the war, Zaitsev's sniper rifle, the Mosin Nagant 9130 with PU scope, was preserved and today sits in a museum, a silent witness to the chaos it once commanded. Vasily passed away in 1991, just months before the collapse of the Soviet Union he had fought to defend. In accordance with his final wishes, he was buried in Stalingrad, now known as Volgograd, next to his fallen comrades. His story remains a chilling reminder of the power of skill, patience, and the deadly reach of a man who turned war into his own deadly hunt.